Satnam aloha, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. And if you could put your human design type and your profile and your astrology information, if you feel called, and you can do that as well if you're on the replay. It's always interesting for other people to see if they share the same profile type, astrology information, so you can share what your experiences together. Okay, so this live stream is all about the July themes, and hopefully my sound is good, and I apologize for the sound in the last two live streams. I just want to check here. Listen. Okay, good. Good. We're back to normal. My voice is back to normal. Okay, so I want to talk about the July themes, what we have, and Happy New Moon. It's the new moon today, activating the 39th gate, and that is my last video. And if you want the sound better, you can go to my website, neutrinoastrology.com, and click on blog, and you can go straight to the video, because I edited the sound. I can't edit once it's uploaded to YouTube, okay? Okay, so here's the dates, the important dates to take note of for July. So the new moon's today, of course. Get my thing here. The new moon is today. Okay, so this is a good day to set intentions. And remember that the gift here is liberation. This is about breaking through some blocks. Right? So the blocks are the origin of block, right? It's an energetic block. We have to start thinking differently for this cross of the sleeping phoenix that's coming. It's all about going into the internal. So if you want to get rid of blocks outside of your life, you don't do it the old cross of planning way. Strategize and using your left brain. It's like, no, it's time to go inside, and it's an inside job now. Okay, and then we've got July 5th to the 15th, and this is the spleen and throat. They're activated here. The 4816. July 19th, December 15th. The nodes move. We're having a nodal movement. From the 48, whoops. Yeah, that's that. The 48 to the 21, and it's moving from the 18 to the 17. So I'm going to go into a little bit more depth of this, right? I'm just doing the overview here. July 12th to the 19th, Mars and Uranus come together in the 8th gate. July 15th, Jupiter moves from the 16 to the 35, so that means that this is going to be deactivated, right? This channel. And then July 21st is the full moon, and it's the 60. And whenever we see the 60, we're looking at Pluto, right? So Pluto is moving through all those gates. Remember, it's taken 248 years for the Pluto to move around all the gates of the mandala. The last time was 1781. Right? And then it's coming into the 41st hexagram, right? And then that's the start of the 2027 solar plexus mutation, right? So Pluto is right now, it's in the 60s. So the full moon and Pluto are together. So that will be an interesting video that I'll do. Okay, so let's go more into depth here. And I want to keep on track because I got the retreat opens and you still have time to join in, and that happens in at 3:30, so four hours or so. So I just wrote some notes so I stay on track here. And let me move me so we can see better here. Right there. That's good. Okay. Maybe make me a little bit smaller. Okay, so this is the chart when the nodes actually move, like when they actually move. So you can see the nodes, if you know the nodes in astrology, the horseshoe pointing down is the north node, and then the south node is the horseshoe pointing up. Okay, but let's start off with this 1648. So right now this is activated, right? The 1648 channel. If you go to the thing is, you can check the transits yourself, especially if you're a reflector. You really need to know the just now chart, it's called. You go to jovianarchive.com and you can get a just now chart, and we'll show you exactly where the transit is. Whoops, today, right? So the 16, so this is colored in, right? Because when gate meets gate, that means it creates a channel. So 1648. So that's activated. So this is the channel of the wavelength, the design of talent. So we've been in it for a while. So this is the drive to master a skill or not. So mastering a skill or not, because it's a binary, right? So there's always this or that, this or that. So this is strategic because it's coming off the spleen. This is the splenic awareness system. This is the throat chakra. And the question that the transit asks is, do I have talent? Do I have any talent? So this can be a confidence breaker in a sense too, right? If you've been really looking at, like, do I really have the skills? Do I have what it takes? Right? Do I have the depth? Do I have the inner resources? So it can bring insecurity. It can bring a lot of insecurity, this transit, right? And it's all about survival, right? This is our most ancient awareness system, the splenic awareness system. So it can bring up feelings of inadequacy, right? The other thing too is with this spleen and this activation is that you can't access, that we don't have access to our ancestral memories, right? We don't have access to our ancestral memories. And this is really interesting because, you know, we've evolved from a 7-centered being to a 9-centered being. So the 7-centered being, this got deactivated in 1781, right? When Pluto moved into the 41st hexagram, and then the 9-centered being came online. So our ancestors have been these 7-centered beings, and 7-centered beings are strategic and focused. So they've got a different way of handling a crisis, right? So it's I guess it's a blessing and a curse. I mean, the old 7-centered way of the old 7-centered being way of handling crisis is going to be different for the 9-centered being, right? So this strategic cross a planning way of, like, well, we're going to plan for a disaster, right? Look at it like that. We're going to plan for a disaster. We have a disaster plan, and this will happen, and then we'll do this, and we'll do that, and we've got all this infrastructure in place, FEMA, all those organizations, the government, everything comes together, and then we can handle a disaster. That's not going to work anymore with the 9-centered being, because what we're doing is we're moving so far into the unknown, right? We're really moving into new territory as a humanity. So we can't use these old ways of handling disasters, this old cross of planning way, right? We're moving into the unknown. So we've got a new way. So this can bring up a lot of insecurity, because at a primal level, we know that we can't go back to these ancestral memories of how they handled disaster. So it can bring up it's a low-level insecurity about the future, right? So that's that instinctual memory that we don't really have access to, that our ancestors did, that gave them that sense of security. Oh, we can tap into our ancestors' memory to handle this disaster. Okay. So maybe you've been going through a little bit of this. And if you're a meditator and sensitive, right, you've got to get really sensitive with frequency now. You've got to really be able to sense frequency and vibration. That's the new pathway of awareness, right? We're moving from physical, mental, emotional into frequency. into frequency. So when you met, and there's certain Kundalini yoga meditations, right? You can strengthen your sensitivity, and that means you're sensitive to the vibrations around you in your environment. So you get that information of like, oh, there's a earthquake coming, or there's a tsunami coming, right? Like days and days in advance, right? So this is the new way, the cross of the sleeping phoenix, which is all about being in the present now moment, right? The present now moment. That's where your power is. It's not when you're in your left brain and strategizing. That was the old way. This is the new way. It's the now, right? Okay. And it's interesting too, because the 25, I'm just going to bop around here. The 25 is activated by Neptune. And this is a major, major player too, because it's a lock. Remember I talked about the lock and keys? Well, the 25 is a lock. It's a lock for this epoch, right? But the keys change every 400 years. So the keys are changing in 2027, but this is a lock, this 25. And so this is breaking down. Neptune dissolves everything that it touches, right? So Neptune's moving around the wheel too, and it's dissolving because we're getting prepared for this new global cycle that starts in 2027. It doesn't mean like 2027 we're going to wake up and it's going to be completely different, but it's going to initiate. It's going to initiate, and we're already seeing it, right? So it's just going to gain momentum year after year after year after year. So the 25 is the spirit of the self. And this is the old way of like, okay, how do tribes come together? Well, those who pray together, right, stay together, right? Stay together. What does that mean for the tribe? And it's connected to the 25 because the 25 is the priest and the high priestess. Well, if we have the same belief system in terms of religion and we pray the same way, we have the same God that we're worshiping, this divides us into tribes. And we're seeing this breaking down out in the world now, right? All these holy wars. So this is being dissolved, right? So this too can bring up some insecurity, like, oh, this glue that we once held as a tribe is no longer working anymore. It's not working. So we can feel these changes afoot, right? And so Neptune's dissolving the spirit, the 25, the spirit, the priest and the priestess. And this is an important one, the 25, is because this is the way forward. It's the way forward. So this dictates a lot. So it's going to change. It's going to shift and change. This is all the stuff I'll be talking about in the solar plexus mutation, but way more in depth, okay? So really, with Neptune activating the 25, it's really testing our faith. Our faith. Because religion's going, right? As all the institutions are going, and religion is a huge institution that's played a major part in the conditioning of humanity. I'm not saying that it was bad, but it served its purpose in terms of evolving us forward, and now it's a detriment, right? So right now, this Neptune in the 25, it's really testing our faith. Because the cross of the sleeping phoenix is about having your own direct experience with the divine. It's not believing in someone else's experience of the divine. That's what the religion is, right? So this is going away. With Neptune there, it can bring disillusionment. It can bring like, oh, this life is pointless, right? The life has no meaning. This again is going on at a deep, deep level. And if you're sensitive and you meditate, you're going to feel all of this that's going on in the collective. So what does this mean? It means that you've got to reach down to the depths of yourself to find your own strength. You're not going to find your strength outside of you anymore, right? So do you see how all these transits are preparing us for the 2027 that's coming? Right? So it's like going inside to your own divinity, right? God, the divine, the higher self, it's in each person, right? So it's going to this is what Neptune is doing. It's like taking away the old way. No, you're not going to be able to go to church or temple or the Gurdwara or whatever and get your strength that way. It's like, no, it's about finding your own individual strength. You need to be strong enough to walk the path alone if you have to, right? Okay. So you're really going to feel this, right? Because you can see that this is a transit chart. So you have your own natal chart. You always go to the information box and get your free chart. So wherever it's colored in your natal chart is what you can count on. So if you have this colored in, this is I call it the G center, J-I, sense of self and direction. If you have that colored in, you're really going to feel this 25, right? Or you've got the 51 that activates, or something that's activating your G center and it's colored in, then you're really going to feel it, this 25. Okay, so let's go to the movie. The movie. We're all here to see a movie. So with the transit chart, we're going to see a particular movie. So if you're the sheep and just going along with the herd, homogenized, right? The promise of comfort and convenience, that's going along, we get along, right? You're going to be directed to see a particular movie. And it may or may not be your movie. So the movie's changing with these nodes, okay? So the old movie was the 4821. Remember, we're still in the 4821. But this is changing in July 19th. The movie's changing. So this is what are we seeing? What are we seeing? Well, we're seeing the inadequacy of our leaders, right? We're seeing that they have no depth, that they're not thinking beyond their own self-serving agenda, right? They don't care about people. The veil's thinning, right? And it's like, have they always been like this? Yes, they've always been like this. But now we can see it, right? There's no more hiding. People can't hide behind a mask anymore. So we're seeing the inadequacy of our leaders, the no depth to our leaders. There's no solutions with the 4821. And they don't have the skills. We're seeing that they don't have the skills required to lead the collective, right? Nobody's driving the bus, right? There's humanity. We're all in the bus and we're headed to go over the cliff. And suddenly people are waking up and it's like, there's nobody driving this bus. We're the adults. Okay, so that's the 48. And then we've got the 21, which is people trying to control the resources, right? Control the resources. Because you've got the 21, it's up here. It's not activated here, but it is right now, the 21, right? In the 48. So trying to control the material, the resources, how people are making their living, where they live, things like that. So this is the movie that the conditioned movie. So you want to look at your own nodes. And if you're seeing this movie, if you're overly focused on this movie and you don't have the 4821, then it's not your movie. You have your own unique movie. Like I have my own unique movie. But when you don't pay attention and you're not your authentic self, the program will take you straight to where it wants you to go, right? This divine plan that we're in. Okay? So let's look at it like personally, right? If we go to let's look at it astrologically, right? So not the program, not the human design program. We're letting go of inadequacy, the 18, right? And we've been embracing whoops, I got ahead of myself. I'm sorry. The south node is in the 48 right now, and the north node's in the 21. So we've been letting go of inadequacy. Right, our feelings of inadequacy, our belief that we don't have the depth, belief that we don't have the inner resources to move through life. We're letting go of that as a collective. So look at it like this too, like in a personal way. And then we're going more into control, right? Control in the good sense of the word, right? No, it's not coming from fear. It's about adulthood, a spiritual adult. Well, nobody's driving the bus. Well, I'm going to drive my own bus. Maybe I'll get off the bus, right? And I'll get into my own little, car, my own little car, gas run car, right? I'm going to drive. I'm going to take control. I'm going to take control here. So in terms of human design, that would be like I'm going to go into the passenger seat and I'm going to let my driver, the second gate, the magnetic monopole, drive me. I'm not going to give my authority over to others. This is what I'm trying to say. You take it back. That's what I mean by control. I'm taking back my authority. And isn't that interesting? The 21, yeah, is about authority, taking your own authority back for yourself, like taking responsibility for your own life. And it's Aries, right? So it's moving away from Libra. The shadow of Libra is all about the other. I got to make the other person happy. I have to people please that person. I have to control that person, right? It's like bringing everything back to the self. Okay, and then the other thing, so the movie's changing, right? So now let's talk about this. So this is the exact time that the nodal shift happens. And so this will take place July 19th and it will be activated for 4.5 months. So right away we need to look at what a channel, well, this channel is activated. Well, that's going to show us a little bit more information about what these next 4.5 months are. Right? Because there it's in the moon, the 58.3. Do you see the 58 coming off the root chakra and then the 18 off the spleen? And this is about correct what's spoilt, the 18th gate. 58 is all about dissatisfaction. It's about challenging authority. This is the channel of judgment. So it's very critical. This is the collective, very critical of authority, outside authority, and seeking injustice, noticing how unjust everything is, right? And some people are just starting to wake up to that fact, right? So this is about challenging how things have been done, the existing patterns. And this is a deep dissatisfaction with how things are, right? And it's all about cleaning up messes. So we may see a lot more social uprisings. And if not like completely manifested out in the world, I mean, we're seeing a lot now, but it will spark even more. It will spark up even more people's dissatisfaction with their life and their so-called leaders, right? So for you personally, this could be about cleaning up some messes. Maybe you've got some messes in your life, some energetic messes that you need to clean up with people, like maybe some conflict with people. Maybe start setting boundaries with people, that sort of thing. It's about bringing your authority back to the self, right? Back to the self. And then getting rid of what's corrupted, right? So collectively, we're going to be seeing that more. What's corrupted, get rid of it. And then what's corrupt in your life? What's not in integrity in your life? Well, I'm in this relationship because it's convenient. I'm not growing. I'm not evolving, but it's really convenient and comfortable. That's corruption right there. I'm in a job that I don't really like, but the paycheck's good. That's corruption, right? So it's all about coming back to your integrity as a soul, out of the not self. The not self is all about corruption, right? It's all about compromising your authenticity. And it's usually for security, right? It's usually for security. So this is you maybe challenging authority in your life. Maybe somebody's been overstepping their boundaries with you, right? And now it's time for you to clean up the mess for the next 4.5 months to come back into integrity, which means come back into your power, right? So we're going to be very uncomfortable with corruption. We're not going to be able to, the regular Joe is not going to be able to ignore it anymore. And it's all about whatever's undermining the collective, the well-being, because it's the spleen, the well-being of the collective, right? The GMOs, the environment, the chemtrails, all that stuff. People are going to start to notice all of that because it's affecting the health of the collective. It's the reason, that's the great thing about the spleen. It's this ancient awareness system. It's kept the species alive for good reason, right? So if you have this yourself, right, like channels in the spleen, like if somebody, especially like the 5710, if something comes in to interfere with your physical well-being, you're not going to put up with that. Your spleen won't put up with it. It will completely rebel. Okay. So then we've got these two here. The movie, right? Opinions, that's the 17, and judgment. And judgment there. So be warned that we'll see a lot of that. And this is, so judgment. I don't think I need to elaborate too much on that. And remember that all judgment towards others is self-judgment. So this is the 17. So letting go of a judgment. So letting go of judgment. And then embracing, understanding, right? Understanding how things work. Seeing patterns. If you've got the 17, right? The 17, then you understand pattern recognition. This is numbers. It communicates in numbers. I actually have the 17 in a prime position in my natal chart. And this is pattern recognition. It's seeing patterns, able to see patterns, and it's able to see like an elevated view of things. So you want to embrace this, let go of the judgment. This is horrible, what's happening out in the world, blah, 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 blah. Everything that's happening in the world is perfect. It's just unfolding. It's not permanent, right? It's just a reflection of what's going on internally in the collective of humanity. So you want to embrace this 17. Right? So this is taking the elevated view. It's not picking sides. It's moving beyond, transcending duality, right? Of this and that. So there can be in the collective with the 17, there can be people looking for answers to because this is the mind, the ajna, looking for answers to get that mental certainty, right? So it's about bringing the mind to peace. That's what they're doing. And it doesn't work. You can never bring the mind to peace unless you take the authority from the mind to your own inner authority. Then the mind comes into peace. So this is doubts and fears about the future, people wanting answers. And so you don't want to get hung up with the 17. So you just don't want to be taking someone's opinion, hook, line, and sinker, and the collective. You want to know that that's backed up by facts, right? Facts and details, not just opinions, right? So let's go to the climate change or whatever. Well, you want to, what are the details? What are the facts behind this, right? Instead of getting in, like emotionally stirred up by someone's opinion. Okay. And then let's look at the tarot, right? So there's the 18, and that correlates to the 2 of swords. So we want to be moving out of that space, and then we want to be moving into the 17, which is the 2 of wands. So 2 of swords, that's mental, right? The swords represent the mind in the tarot. And so, and it's a 2, both are 2s. And so there's the 18, and it's moon. There's the moon. And Libra represents moon in Libra, right? So moon in Libra, this is the high priestess. The high priestess, that's major arcana, meets justice. These two. Just so you understand this 2 of swords better. So this is the Two of Swords, right? Like that blindfold's barely on her. So it's like I'm the victim, right? I'm the victim because I'm listening to my crazy ass mind in my head that's like in duality going back and forth with the pros and cons list. That's not going to work anymore. And meanwhile, it's self-imposed. She could drop one of these swords to the ground, take that off and look behind her, right? At the horizon. That's what it's representing. It's like, look around. Don't get stuck in your mind, because this is apathy. This is freeze. I'm frozen. I can't make a decision because my mind's back and forth. Your mind, that's what your mind does, right? Moon in Libra. So this is saying to High Priestess is to go within, go to the depths, go to your own inner voice, right? Because if you're in your head, if you're in your mind, in your head right now, it's programmed. It's programmed by the external. And the external is all about confusion right now, right? All about confusion. So you are going to go back and forth. Who can I believe? When it's duality. So wherever you find one opinion, you're going to find the opposite opinion. That's why it's so easy to run out and say, well, this person said that. And then I find another person that agrees with that opinion and that opinion and that opinion. It's like this crazy, bright maze that we get into and we don't move forward. So you don't want to be in your head right now. You don't want to be in your mind right now, especially making your decisions, right? So you want to go High Priestess. You want to go deep, deep within and go, this is the divine feminine, right? The High Priestess represents the divine feminine. I want to go into my own inner voice and I want to be guided by that. This is even deeper than your human design type and strategy, right? Is to go to your own inner voice and listen to that for guidance, right? Otherwise, you're going to stay stuck, right? You're going to stay stuck, and it's your choice. This is you, the 21 that we're in right now. It's about taking responsibility, right, for your life. And then you got the Two of Wands, right? Oh, injustice, right? Injustice. So the other message here is don't get caught up with, maybe you've got a dispute with somebody, a conflict with somebody, and you can't let go of it. And it's like, you don't believe in karma, right? You don't think the divine is going to take care of business and bring everything into balance. It's like to trust that, right? That's justice. Don't get caught up. Everything, this isn't fair and that's not fair. And you don't know the whole story, right? You don't know. We never know the whole story with people. And it's not our job to be rolling out karma, punishment to other people. It's not our job, right? So it's just about giving, the High Priestess is giving that to the divine, because it's only going to harm you, right? You'll be in this Two of Swords energy. And then we've got the Two of Wands. So on the other side, so you're moving out of the mental and you're going into the Wands, this is spiritual. It's fire, right? This is fire. So this is Mars and Aries. Mars and Aries. And this is what we want to embrace, Mars and Aries. So you can see, look at this. My eyes are closed. I can't see. I'm a victim, right? I can't make any decisions. And then this is like, opens up. It's expansive, right? So it's expansive energy. It's fire energy. This is about making plans. It's about making that first step, right? So planning, not in the sense of like strategy, because cross the planning, we don't want to be bringing in that energy, right? Planning in the sense of like, I'm just looking out. I'm looking out into the horizon. I'm seeing opportunities, right? I'm seeing opportunities. I'm ready to leave my comfort zone. This is a so-called comfort zone for people, to be in that Two of Swords energy. It's anything but comfortable. This is, I'm ready to leave my comfort zone. I'm ready to take a risk, right? I'm ready to take a risk. And then and then this one. So the Two of Wands, this is the Emperor, right? This is a divine masculine. So we got a real message here, right? With the high priestess connected to this is medicine. And then divine masculine. So the emperor meets the tower, right? So this is, I laugh at the tower. I know people are afraid when they get the tower in tarot, but tower means there's divine intervention. It's like, okay, you're stuck here in the Two of Swords, right? You're not making a decision. The tower comes in. So it's either you make the decision or the divine will make it for you. The divine will intervene to get you on your path where you're supposed to be, right? And the emperor is, again, it's about taking authority, taking responsibility for your life, right? This is your life. Do not be giving your power over to the external to make somebody else happy or to think that you're safe when you do that. That's a dangerous belief system to be holding on to. And it's going to get more and more dangerous as we move into the future, right? Okay, so maybe you've been hemming and hawing about a decision. Well, July is time to bust a move and make the decision and take the risk, right? Not to stay in judgment, right? South Node, not to stay in this judgment. Okay, listening to intuition. The other thing, because it's like, well, I need to get, so we're so conditioned to get our answers outside of us. Here's a hot spiritual tip. This is $1 billion spiritual tip right here. All you have to do is ask the right question, right? So projectors, listen to me. Projectors need to get really good at this for asking questions. That's what I'm a projector. We're really good at asking the right questions. So it's formulating the right question. That's your work to do, right? The right question to ask. That answer will immediately be there. The question and answer travel together. But this is our biggest thing, is we don't ask the right question. So you ask the right question to your inner self, right? To that, in that inner voice will answer, right? That high priestess energy will come up and answer. So it's like, really work on what's the question that I really need an answer for right now, and make it deep, right? Make it deep. Okay. And so this is, I make my decision, I pick my wand, and I stand 100%. I don't waffle, because you waffle, you go back into this Two of Swords. I'm standing behind my decision. I'm trusting it 100%. So it's really about getting out of the head, right? Out of the head. Okay, so it's about bossing up. You got to boss up. That means you got to become the boss of your own life. Okay. So that's that in July. And then the other thing was, what's the other one? Mars and Uranus in the 8. Right there. They're activated right there. And as you know, the 8 is this is my favorite one, because this is my sun. Oh my God, I'm going to have Uranus and Mars on my sun. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Okay, so 8, right? So Uranus is the great awakener. This is the unexpected. This is totally tower energy here, Uranus. And then Mars is action. It's about taking action. So the 8 is about being your authentic self, right? It's all about being your authentic self. And then Uranus is going to help you to liberate you from that. So Uranus goes into the subconscious, right? So Saturn, you got to look at Saturn, because Saturn's losing its power over the planet Earth, right? Has been able to repress all that stuff down. And then Uranus is like, no, get out of the way, right? The power of Uranus is coming back to our solar system. And so this is liberating, right? It's Aquarius. It rules Aquarius. It's liberating you from this not self, from your not self, your ego, your false identity, so that you can become your authentic self. It's like a birthing, right? So then you've got this power of Mars behind it too. So again, if you don't willingly go, right? Volunteer yourself, like I'm ready to be my authentic self, whatever that looks like. I'm scared, but I'm going to offer myself to the divine. Then you're not going to get the crazy tower. But if you resist and go kicking and screaming, you're going to get the tower, right? And it will look horrible, right? Nobody enjoys the tower, not when it's happening, but they all enjoy it afterwards when everything crumbles down and the dust settles. Then it's like, oh, I wish that would have happened to me years ago, you know? So you want to really embrace this time with the 2/8s here, the 2/8s. And when's that happening again? Let's go back up here. I think it's July 15th to the 19th. July 15th to the 19th. Okay. So no more masks. Take off the mask. That's what the 2/8s are saying. Take off the mask. They're not going to work anymore. Mars and Uranus will rip that mask off your face so that you can really reveal who you really are. And then you can make your contribution to the world. Your contribution can't come from the not self anymore. It can't, because we're moving away from the not self world, right? So it can't come from that place anymore. It's not going to have any power. It's got to come from your authenticity. That's where your power is. And only you know that, what that's going to look like, right? Okay, and then Jupiter, the other transit here is Jupiter moves from the 16 to the 35, and that happens like later, mid-month, isn't it? Jupiter moves into the 35, July 15th. Yeah. So that's going to deactivate the 1648. And this is about progress. This is the gate of progress. This is about new experiences. New experiences. This totally fits with this 2 Wands energy. But it's based on feeling. It's not based on this, the 2 of Swords, the mind, right? Well, how am I going to pay my bills if I do that? How am I going to survive if I do that? Right? And all the resistance of the ego and not self. The feelings are going to trump it, right? They're going to totally trump it. It's the feeling. That's what you're after. And the feeling is to feel alive again. You're a human being. You're here to feel alive, like filled with passion, right? Two Wands there, filled with passion and excitement. And it's about progressing. It's about evolving. You're not here to be comfortable, right? People want to be comfortable and they don't want to change, or they want their definition of change is what the ego wants. And the ego always wants everything around it to change, but you don't change, but everything, the circumstances around you change. That's not progress. You're here to evolve and grow. So you want to get out of the flat line, the blah, blah flat line. So this Jupiter here is going to expand it, and it's going to put, like with Uranus and Mars too, it's going to put the paddles on you and resurrect you, right? Bring you back to life. So it's not about playing it safe, right? So this is a new adventure, and it's going to be based on feelings, Okay? So the overall theme that I see for July, and remember, it may or may not manifest. If you manifest, sometimes it takes time to breach the material plane, but you'll feel the shift and change inside you. So we really need to learn patience. It's like, okay, I can feel the shift inside me. We'll be patient for it to come into form and to be manifested into physical form. And this will become faster and faster as we move into the sleeping phoenix. So July time is just for making a tough decision. This is about a tough decision where you've been stuck. And it's about being yourself, or the divine intervention is going to come in and make the decision for you. And so this is also about embracing new experiences that have fire and passion and feeling. And then we'll talk about the next video that I do, probably about the full moon and the 60, right? Along with Pluto breaking you out of your limited belief systems, right? Out of your limitations that you're creating yourself, basically. And they're based on the past, right? And traditions. Okay. So let's see if there's any comments, and then I want to do some quick message for the types here. Okay. My voice sounds better too. I think I was going through some kind of mutation with my voice, because my voice was like doing really weird things for the last couple of weeks. I'll probably get that. I always get the information after the fact through my intuition. Okay, here's the comments. But it sounds like it's back. Okay, let's see what people got to say here. Michael Gregory. Good to see you, Michael. Okay. And Diane. Mental projector, generator, heal with foods. Okay. Guru Surya, good to see you. Manifesting generator. Mental projector, Flora. Good to see the projectors here. Christine. Aries projector. Yeah. Wagyu for energetic blocks. Heather. Blue Sea Swimmer. Satpram Khalsa. Rudy Dream. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Libra Diana. Or Dana, sorry. Okay. Rhonda. Yeah. So Rhonda, your Pluto's in the 18. So you've got your South Node right on your Pluto, eh? For the next 4.5 months. Yeah. So with natal, just so you know, just because it's on, I just want to put, did that come up? Okay. There we go. So Rhonda, I'd like to use this thing here. So Rhonda needed to hear that my Pluto's in the 18. So natally, just because you brought this up, natally, so we've got the transit of Pluto, but then you have your own individual Pluto. And your individual Pluto is about where you find truth, where you find your truth. So you may or may not find that in this lifetime, but your truth is connected to the 18, right? So that's the shadow of judgment, the gift of integrity, and then the city of justice for the 18. So this is judgment. So you're going to find your truth through judgment, And the thing I just want to say about judgment, because there's a lot of spiritual teachings that you shouldn't judge. It's bad for you to judge, right? But you don't judge. It's your mind that judges. That's how our mind operates. It's this or that, this or that. It's going to judge. But where we get into problems and issues is when we identify with those judgments, especially judgments about yourself, right? Okay. So that's where so everybody look at their chart, right? Where do you find your truth in this lifetime? Okay. Back. There's Teresa, moon in the 8, blah, blah, blah. You sound fabulous. Great. Satnam Robin, Alexa, P Monroe, Car Hamill. I feel like I'm a 5-year-old laughing at that. Okay, so let's do some quick messages for people and see what the divine has to say. And I will go to overlays. And we'll start off with the generators. The generators. Okay. There's the generators. And I think I'll use these cards. So the generators have to really watch that 18 because that's the mind, right? The most conditioned mind are the generators and the manifesting generators. So let's see what July is going to be for the generators. So they're responding with their sacral. With a yes or no. But I would suggest, this may be blasphemous to the human design community, but to really tune into your inner voice first, right? Like go deep. We all have this inner voice, right? Your sacral is part of your physical form. That has nothing. It's not about your. It's form consciousness, right? It's not about your soul. I'm talking about listening to your soul. Because I'm just thinking, because if you respond with, say, you respond with a yes from your sacral, then listen to your soul, and maybe you'll get the why. You'll get the why from your soul. Okay, so this is for our generator friends. And one more, our generator friends. For July. We're going to do block and guidance. Block and guidance for our generator friends. Okay. Okay. So the generator got the two of wands. That's interesting. So the 2 of wands, you can see that. 2 of wands. And then the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like this is the block for generators, the 2 of wands. So a refusal here. There could be a refusal to look, to kind of take the wheel, to grab that wand, right? Because the thing with commitment, because this is commitment. I'm going to grab the wand, right? I've got these options, right? Maybe I've got 2 people in my life and I'm being called to make a commitment to a person, right? Or this person or that person. Or maybe I've got a choice to make about a person, right? And then my sole purpose, which may be like an opportunity to do something really new, right? But here I am between a rock and a hard place here, right? Of making a choice. So there could be a fear of like, well, if I make this choice, and we all have to go through this. Whenever you make one choice, it means that you're kind of cutting yourself off. Like there's 2 roads. I'm going to take this road, but then there's always what would have happened if I would have taken that road? Right? There's always that. That's just, it's about, this is the dilemma of making a commitment, is the mind and the ego can come up and say, well, you'll lose out. You'll miss out on this. You make a mistake. 3rd lines have to deal with this. 3rd lines and 6th lines. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to make the wrong choice, right? But then you've got the wheel. And I think there's no wrong choices in a sense, you know? Even if it seems like you made a wrong choice, that life and the divine, you end up in the same place is what I'm trying to say. So say there's the same destination point that you're headed, but you're choosing one road and not another road. And maybe this road's shorter to get you to that point. And then the other road will lead you to the same place, but it takes longer. And it's more treacherous in a sense, right? But ultimately you end up in the same place. So, okay, so it's about fully committing to your choice, right? So it's about full commitment to your choice. And you have to hold on to this one. You've got to shut the door on the other option and fully commit to this one for July. And an action must be taken. And then this will fall away. This Two of Swords energy will fall away. But the great thing is you've got let me get this out of the way. You got the Wheel of Fortune. So the major arcana in tarot is outside of your influence, basically. It's divine energy, basically. And this is all about starting new. This is new. It's a new cycle. So the generators are being called to really embrace a new cycle. And maybe you're already feeling it. You know what I'm talking about, right? This is about your destiny. The Wheel of Fortune is going to take you to your destiny. And just with the 35, right, being activated by Jupiter, right? I love how the divine works here. So the Wheel of Fortune in tarot is ruled by Jupiter. It's ruled by Jupiter. So this is progress. So it's going to be based on how you feel too, right? How you feel. And especially if you're a generator with a defined solar plexus, it's all going to be about your feeling, how I feel about this. It's something that I'm excited about, right? And excitement when we do something new and we move out of our comfort zone always comes with fear because we're moving into the unknown in the cross of the sleeping phoenix. But this is progress. This is stepping forward. It's expansion, right? For July, whatever choice you're going to make. So if you got same old energy, like, oh, I've done that. This is the devil I know rather than the devil I don't. I'm going to choose this because it's just the safe. That's not your choice. You want to have that feeling of like, right? Your sacral all lit up, right? Yeah. Yeah. And then the fear kind of gets in, right? The ego gets in, the not self trying to pull you away from that. But you've got to know that you've got the depth, right? You've got the depth. And you can do this with North Node 17. So the wheel's turning, but it's turning in your favor in the choice that you make, right? So it's time to make a risk for July. It's time to make a risk. And take a baby step, right? Make a baby step forward and see how you feel. Because sometimes the biggest resistance is just making that first baby step. Like it takes so much energy and courage just to make a little tiny baby step. But as soon as you make the baby step, then the momentum starts to build, and then you feel your confidence, right, coming up, building, right, your confidence building. But your sacral's going to let you know, right, light you up. It's going to light you up. Yeah. Okay. So not resisting change. So this is a new turning point for the generators, if they choose, right? If they choose. Okay, so that's the generators. And then let's go for the MGs. Okay, the manifesting generators. Also part of the generator family, the MGs. And so if the MGs like to skip steps and they don't like to watch the whole video, because I know those manifesting generators, because they like to zoom along, right? And that's why they skip steps. They've got to go and they've got to redo things, because they go too fast. They move too fast. They get so bored. MGs get bored easily. Okay. And they like to multitask. They're probably doing something right now while listening to me. The MGs. So we're talking about July, the July transit, manifesting generators. And so the MGs are here to respond with their sacral, the yes or no. And then the little caveat here with the MGs, because they're part manifestors, but they're not fully manifestors as they respond. I'm just talking strategy, not authority. Then they share okay, I responded with a yes, who will this impact? And then I share with that person or people. And then I keep responding, I don't initiate. Okay. So we're talking about manifesting generators for the month of July. The month of July, and then one more to the south. So what's the block for the manifesting generators? What's the block? Block and guidance for the MGs. It's way too many. Okay. Okay, there's one. Manifesting generator friends. Okay. Oh. The MGs. 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups and the Temperance card for the manifesting generators. Okay. So this is regret, the 5 of Cups. See, MGs, maybe you've got some regret in your life right now. And so you're looking at your losses. You're looking at those 3 of Cups, those empty 3 of Cups. But you're not looking behind you, the 2 of Cups, right? So there can be regret, disappointment, a sense of failure, right? Okay. Where we go here? I just want to bring, because we got I just like to write. This helps me focus. So you've got the 5 of Cups is a tower moment, something unexpected, and then death, right? So that Mars meets Scorpio right here. So this is something unexpected, right? That's caused you some grief, right? Some sadness, some grief. And it can make you possibly, right, stay in this 2 of Swords energy. This is the South Node, the 18. Stay in this energy of like, I don't want to make a choice. I'm afraid to make a choice because of this, right? This is my past. This is what happened. I made a mistake, right? So tower moment, that's huge. This tower and death are huge transformation. So this is not a time to be focused on the past, right? And your past mistakes that you've made, right? That you have regret over. It's time to, like, what I say is lick your wounds. Take some time to lick your wounds, but then you want to get up, right? You want to get up and keep moving forward. In the thing with the 5 of Cups is, what did I learn? What did I learn from that experience? I'm going to learn from my mistakes, right? Especially if you're 3rd line, 6th line, your first 30 years. If you're 6th line, what did I learn from my mistakes? What did I discover about myself, from this, right? Maybe if you're an MG, maybe I just dove into this experience, whatever I did. I didn't really stop and take a pause. I didn't listen to my sacral. I just listened to my crazy mind that wanted the mind is bored. I'm bored. I want, people get addicted to that, right? The MGs, like the go, 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 go energy and the new. And maybe I stumbled and I fell, right? Well, what did I learn and discover? It could have been like, well, maybe I got to take a pause and I've got to listen to that sacral next time. Maybe I've got to go deeper into my intuition, right? Rather than listening to my mind, right? So how can I learn from this disappointment? And if you get the 5 of cups is emotions. You just have to feel it, right? You just have to feel it. That's the grief. And also it's about forgiveness, like forgiving yourself. I forgive myself. I made a mistake, but I learned from it, right? I'm moving on. I'm not going to let it stop me. And maybe look at a different perspective. The different perspective is like, okay, I'm looking at these 3 empty cups. I've got to turn my head and see those 2 cups that are behind me, that there's still hope here, right? That not every disappointment is a disaster, as long as you learn from it. Okay, so you want to look around for new opportunities, that's saying. And then you've got the Temperance, which is another major arcana card. So this is outside energy, and this is coming into balance, right? It's coming into balance. It's balancing your yin and your yang, right? So maybe MGs can be very in their yang energy, like action, do, busy, right? Maybe you're out of balance. Maybe you got to come more into your yin. That's what this card is saying for July. Maybe you need to rely more on your feminine, your divine feminine energy. And this goes for if you're a male too, like born in a male form or female form. We have both those energies. So this is about being patient, right? It's about being patient with the process. Not listening to the mind, right? You can never keep up with the mind. The mind will have 1,000,001 tasks for you to do, but you live in time and space and you can only do so much, right? So where can you live in harmony? Where can you love to be in harmony and to be in the flow of life? This goes for generators too. Your big word is flow. Being in the flow with life, responding moment by moment. Where can you integrate different aspects of yourself and your life in order to create balance and harmony? And what brings you inner peace, MGs? What brings you inner peace? Temperance. This is angel energy. Maybe you've got to make, I don't know if you're into this or not, but maybe you've got to make open communication to your guardian angels. Can you help me with this? I can't do everything myself, right? I can't do. I'm coming more into balance. So I'm letting the divine, right? I'm putting my faith in the divine. Right? The divine within me to work things out, right? So this is about keeping your balance, not going into situations where you're going off balance as an MG, where you're out of balance, where you're too in your masculine or you're too in your feminine, because it can work that way too. But my sense is you're too in your yang and not enough in your yin. This goes for men and women. And then this is about keeping calm before answering, not to react. And then resolving inner conflict for you to heal. And then going into the nice work rest, right? Work rest. And so this, as an MG, this is about using that sacral energy for things that you love to do, right? That you love to do. And like I said, this is your currency. I keep saying this every video. Your sacral is your currency, right? So would I pay to work at that place? Would I pay to be in this relationship? Would I pay to go see that friend? That's how you have to look at things, because that's what you're spending is your currency, and that's your sacral energy. So what you love to do, you need to get out of this mindset that, oh, work is drudgery and I have to have a job to survive, and that's just what life is, right? That my work is miserable and I'm frustrated, not self MG. I'm frustrated, and that's just the way it is, because there's so many MGs and Gs on the planet that don't love what they do, right? Work is really important for you. So I feel like that's one of your choices to make this month, is about your work rest, right? It's all about balance. It's all about coming into balance and expanding what that looks like for you, getting out of your comfort zone, that you can have it all, right? But it has to come into balance. And so you need to learn patience and to wait for something to respond to, right? Waiting and trusting your sacral, trusting your own inner voice, right? To guide you. Okay. Yeah. Anything else about that? And let yourself transform, right? We're all going through a huge transformational, not all of us, but the people that are committed to their spiritual journey are going through a huge transformational experience. Okay. So, and also with the Five of Cups is to be honest with yourself and how you're feeling, and how you don't poo-poo it away, or like whatever, sour grapes, right? The fox and the sour grape story. Just really be honest, right? I'm sad. It's okay. I'm sad. I'm sad that this happened. I'm going to learn from it. Okay. Yin and yang. Okay. Yeah. Well, the cross of the sleeping phoenix, it's all about the internal. It's all about taking the feminine way, and the MGs and the Gs are teaching us that, because it's very feminine, right? The manifesting generators, because they're responding. That's the feminine. They're responding, and then they act, right? The action doesn't come first. When the action comes first, it's out of balance. It's not in integrity. Because where's that action coming from? If it's not coming from the self, right, your authentic self, it's coming from the ego. And it's always going to create suffering. That's just the universal law. Maybe not in the moment, but down the road it will. Okay, so let's go for manifestors. And we're doing well for time here. Okay, manifestors. 9% of the world are manifestors. And be sure to listen to your loved ones who are manifestors. Okay. So we're going to pick a card. So these are the July transits here. Okay. For the manifestors for July. And we'll see if they started initiating. That's been a theme for the manifestors. Not initiating. Okay. So this is for July. I'm liking this new moon energy. Are you guys feeling it? It's today. I feel like there's been a shift. Okay. So this is for our manifestor friends for July. And what they need to hear for all our manifestor friends. So that our manifestors can be at peace. That's my prayer for the manifestors, to be at peace. Okay. So a block, the block for the manifestors, and then guidance. Ooh. Okay, 3 jumped out, so we'll go with 3. Okay. We got the 4 of Cups, the 4 of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and then the Knight of Wands. Okay. So 4 of Cups, that's the block. 4 of Cups is all about I'm bored. I am bored. Right? I'm bored. This is about missed opportunities. It's about apathy, and ingratitude, right? So this is not being able, you can see him right there, right? You know, tarot. There's the 3 empty cups, and there's the 1 cup. It's coming. See the little cloud? That means it's coming from the divine, right? But he's got his hands like this. I'm too focused on what my mind wanted, right? I'm too focused on my mind, what my mind wanted. And Chiron's not in here right now, but it's in the 42, right? It's in the 42, and there's the 42 there. So in human design, it only goes to Pluto. Doesn't activate like the fixed stars, or Chiron. So the 42, Chiron's in retrograde too, I think. The 42 is all about expectation. That's why I'm looking at that, right? So we're all dealing with this wounding, this deep wounding. And the deep wounding here with the 42 is like, I expect things to be this way. So manifestors, maybe you have that. Like, well, it's got to look this way, right? My manifestation needs to look this way. It needs to pay this amount of money. It needs to only take up this much of my time and give me this and this and this. And there's all these rules and regulations in your head. And that's the shadow. That's the shadow of the 42 is expectation. So that can bring up this energy. Well, look, right? There's nothing here. There's nothing here. I don't have any gratitude, but maybe you've got the 1 cup that's something is working. Some energy is working for you that you're manifesting. So again, I'm getting the big message, like the MGs, is to wait and be patient, right? To wait and be patient in terms of your initiation. Maybe you did initiate something, but it's not turning out the way that you want to, that your mind wants to. So you have to be wait and be patient for it to manifest. It has to come into time and space, right? It's coming from vibrationally, it's coming through your mental body, and then it takes time to come into the physical form. And that's going to become faster and faster. So that's what I see here, like a new opportunity, right, has come in. Maybe you've experienced that, right? A new opportunity's come, but it's not manifesting the way that you want it to manifest according to the mind, right? To not give up, right? To not give up. Let's bring it back to choice, though. It's to choice. Okay, here's another way to look at it, too. That maybe you have tried to manifest something in the past, right? That you tried to manifest something in the past, and it didn't come to fruition. It didn't come to fruition or the way that you wanted it to do. Well, this energy could also be, well, it didn't work last time, so I'm not going to do it again. But it keeps coming through, right? That divine inspiration keeps coming to you as a manifestor, right? So maybe it's come again, right? It's come again. So again, it's about the patience. Maybe a seed was planted before, and there's only a little tiny sprout that came up, and now it's the message is to keep nurturing it. Like, stick with that wand, right? Stick your hand on that wand. Make the commitment. I'm going to see this through, this manifestation through. Because it's going to bring stuff up. If you're an entrepreneur, you know this when you work for yourself. It's a spiritual journey to be an entrepreneur. And we're all headed for that direction for the cross of the sleeping phoenix, right? Is entrepreneurship. And so it's a spiritual path because you go through your ups and downs. You go through your fears and you go through your doubts, right? And you go through your trust issues and your faith issues and all of that, right? You have to deal with that crazy mind coming in. You made a mistake. Why did you do this? It's a fantasy, blah, 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 but you keep plugging through, right? You keep your hand on that wand, right? And you keep your vision outward, expansive, right? Expansive, not going back into this space of duality of the mind, right? And then you got the Knight of Wands, right? So the Knight of Wands could also be a block, right? And the Knight of Wands wants it now, right? I want it now. The Knight of Wands is very impatient, right? That energy is very, very impatient. And it's Sagittarius, right? It's ruled by Sagittarius. And they don't want to wait, right? If you know a Sagittarius, they don't want to wait. So as a manifestor, that's what I feel like your message is to be patient, right? To keep the big view, the 17, right? The North Node in the 17 comes online July 19th. Keep the big view, the elevated view. Don't go into judgment. Don't go into old energy, and just trust. If you got the divine inspiration and you followed your strategy, and then I informed and I shared and I initiated, keep trusting. It happened for a reason. It wouldn't have. There would have been so many blocks, right? External blocks if you didn't operate correctly, right? So don't let this energy of boredom and apathy take over. Like, keep your hopes up. Keep your hopes up. And like that, I said at the beginning of the video, the 25, Neptune's activating the 25. This is testing our faith, right? Testing our faith. Yeah. Is there anything else for the manifestors here? Just you planted a seed, manifestor. You planted a seed and be patient and let it grow. Yeah. And then there'll be time. Sometimes you have to wait, right? You got to wait. There's a waiting period, and then there'll be a time to act. But that's going to come from inside you, right? That action. You'll get the divine inspiration. Okay, step 2, step 3, step 4. It's not a full-on Knight of Wands charging, right? Charging, and then it's manifested. Especially if it's really important to your soul's journey, because, like I said, you're learning lessons as you go, right? Okay. And manifestors are not known to be patient. That's not your virtue, right? But it will bring you peace. So enjoy the downtime. Enjoy your peace. That's your peace time. Okay. Okay. And let's go for the projectors who need to be recognized, invited to guide the other types. They're the new leaders of the Aquarian age, right? Okay. 20% of the world are projectors. So let me know if you're a projector, even if you're watching it on the replay. And what kind of projector? Because there's many types of projectors. I'm an emotional projector. Okay. So they're also waiting. Waiting for that recognition and invitation. Oh, a projector asked me the other day, I don't know what to study. You study what you're passionate about. Like, what would you listen to? Like, in terms of podcasts and things. I love listening to astrology podcasts. I just do that for my own enjoyment. Don't be looking at an outcome, projectors. It's like, what am I passionate about? What? Take note of what you're interested in. It's in terms of the other types, we're not supposed to be, we don't work in that sense of the word like generators and NGs. We study, but that's our work in a sense, right? It's our study to help others. And if you're a 6-line projector, it's going to be about something related to your past experiences, like what helped you. Okay, so this is for our projector friends for the month of July and what their block is and the guidance for the projectors. Okay. Okay, we got one for the projectors for the month of July for making a choice. Making a choice. Standing by it. Ooh, projector got 3 too. Okay. Okay. So the 8 of Swords, right there, that's got to be the block. You got 3 cards. The 6 of Pentacles. That's something that's come up for me a lot. And then the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands. Okay. So this is the block is obvious, right? It's victim thinking. So you can see her, right? She's got the blindfold on, barely on, right? And then the little ribbon, she doesn't look like she's too constrained there, but it looks like she could just like break out of that easily, right? Surrounded by the swords. So this is self-imposed victim thinking. So this is getting too much into the victim thinking. Why me? No one values me. Nobody appreciates me. No one recognizes me as a projector. And it's self-imposed, right? It's self-imposed. But here's the ego and the mind, the not self. No, it's them out there. They don't recognize me. Whatever you're pointing outward, you got to go back inside. Right? They don't recognize me. It's because I don't recognize myself. They don't value me. It means I don't value myself. They ignore me. They don't listen to me. It's because I ignore myself. Right? My authentic self. I don't listen to myself. So this is playing the victim. And projectors can do this. Right? Projectors can do this. I've been listening to a not self projector is a nightmare. Right? So I've been listening to this from people that know projectors. And they refuse to change, and they can use the story. Well, I'm a projector. I'm only 20% of the world, and I'm not supposed to work, and I've got no energy. Right? That's the victim story the projectors can get locked into. Why they can't change. Why they stay stuck in this 2 of Swords energy. Right? I'm a projector. I'm a projector. And then, do you see how we can even take human design and take it so far from empowerment and use it as another crutch? And we live in a world that is worships the victim, right? Worships the victim. So this is just another victim story. So you don't want to let the fact that you're a projector stop you from moving forward. You've got to look at the gifts of being a projector, right? And the gift is, energy, like nobody's business, energy, and you know how people waste their energy, right? And you can see things that the other types can't see, right? You can tune in straight to their authentic self, right? The projector's aura goes straight into the G center of the other. And can like laser right in to their authentic energy, and they can see all the bullshit, right? They can see the masks that people are wearing, And this is what they're guiding. They're guiding the other type to their authenticity. This is who you are. You're not this, not that, not this. But if you're in your victim story, then all you're going to see is victims and other people. And you're not here. The cross of the sleeping phoenix is the individual. This is an empowerment of the individual. It's not about putting people in the victim box. That does not serve anyone, and including yourself, it doesn't serve. Okay? So you want to drop this, right? Playing the victim, playing the victim. Oh, isn't that interesting too? Jupiter. Jupiter's really calling our attention here. So Jupiter is in Gemini, and that's what rules the Eight of Swords, right? So that's the 35. So this is about progress. This is about new experiences. I'm sure you've had this Eight of Swords experience. You don't need that anymore. I know what it feels like to be a victim and play the victim and listen to my mind, right? I'm going to let that go. Yeah. And this is about questioning your negative thoughts. So it's negativity. So, okay, what are my thoughts? When new opportunities are coming, what comes up? Well, oh, I can't do that because, right? That's your victim story, whatever comes after that because. So that's the block. So making the choice. We're talking about choice. Maybe I'm going to choose to be positive this month. I'm going to choose the positive attitude this month. I'm going to choose that everything's going my way. Everything's supporting me. The universe is supporting me. Even those people that don't recognize me, they're supporting me because they're teaching me to recognize myself, right? So really embrace the positivity. The positivity. And then this is about giving and receiving. More balance energy here. Moon in Taurus. So the Six of Pentacles. That's you as the projector, right? You're laying down your wisdom, right? You're laying down your wisdom for people. You're sharing with people that ask you, that recognize you, and they ask you. And as long as the thing is that people they're gonna recognize your negativity. If you're in the Eight of Swords energy and you're completely negative Nelly, right? You're like Linus with the dirty blanket, but that's all your negativity, like following you everywhere, like a big dirty cloud. People are going to sense that, right? And they're not going to recognize you because they can't see you. You're hidden behind this Eight of Swords energy. I'm the victim and bitter, right? This is the bitterness, the Eight of Swords. So when you're in this positive energy and you're just being yourself, waiting, right? Just waiting, living your life, studying, following your passion, then you'll attract those people that are for you, right? That are for you. But if you're in this negative energy, you're going to attract people that are like, right? That will just reaffirm this victim in you. Yeah. So this is about sharing, right? It's about success. That's your big key. That's your signature, is success. That's the Six of Pentacles. So giving when invited. Not forcing your giving, right? Not forcing your giving, because when you force your giving and it's not been invited, you're taking, right? I know this is bitter pill to swallow as a projector. But when you're forcing, right? Like, I see what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. You're taking, that's taking energy. They haven't opened up their aura to you, right? You're running in there with your laser beam aura and it's like, I'm going to take. So it's just about trusting, right? Trusting. And then when you do give and it's correct, it's going to be beneficial. This is Pentacles, right? So it's beneficial for you, even financially too, right? So ask yourself, how can I give to others? Right? How can I create a healthy exchange of energy with others? Don't let somebody else set your value. You set your value for yourself, right? You set your value. You don't let other people set your value for you. And how can you share your spiritual knowledge, right? Whatever you're learning and studying, how can I share that with others? Yeah. So this is the inner conflict. between giving and receiving that you need to learn this month as a projector. What that looks like for you, what that balance looks like for you, right? And giving to people that don't recognize you or invite you, that you're going to be out of balance. Yeah. And then the Three of Wands, because you've got that card too, the Three of Wands, which is a progression. It's 1313 here. Three of Wands, right, is a progression of the Two of Wands, right? And so the Three of Wands is I made my choice. I'm going to choose this system that I'm going to study. I'm so passionate about this. I'm so passionate about Vedic astrology. I just can't keep my eyes off of it. Learning so much. But then I got all these other systems too that I'm interested in. Well, you want to pick your wand. I'm going to pick this. I'm going to choose this. You can always circle back to the other things, but you have to become a master. As a projector, you have to become a master at one of the systems, and it's to help others, help guide others. Right? So I made my choice in July, and then this is like the Three of Wands is I'm waiting, right? I'm waiting for my ship to come in. It's going to come in. Then I'm waiting to be recognized, right? I'm orbiting around the world, right? In my community and stuff. I got my book or whatever that I'm studying. Maybe I'm studying the Gene Keys. I got my Gene Key book with me. And then that opens an opportunity for people. Hey, what's that book? What's that Gene Keys about? And you go, oh, well. And then, right? When were you born? Blah, blah, blah. And then you find their shadow and gift and city, and you start sharing. Right? It can be really easy like that. So that's like you as the Three of Wands. You're waiting to be recognized. And know that your aura will draw in that recognition, right? So expanding your horizons out of that victim thinking, nothing's ever good going to happen to me, out of that kind of thinking, right? And what new opportunities lie ahead for you. And if you had no limitations or restrictions, you didn't have to worry about money or anything like that, what would you do? What would you study, right? So this is like you put things in motion. As soon as you put your projector, as soon as you put your hand on that wand, this is my choice. This is what I'm committed to. I'm going to go deep into this system, right? Whatever it is for you. Yeah, and then this brings this balance. So that's what I see there and it's difficult. I'm a projector, I know. I'm interested in so many things, right? Yeah. Anyway, it's a good message for me too. It's the pick a wand. Okay. How are we for time? 1:37. I got a giddy. But let's go to reflectors. Okay. 1% of the world, and I love to hear from the reflectors. Even if you're watching on the replay, if you're a reflector, really important for other reflectors to know too, because there's only 1% of you. 1% are reflectors. Okay. And in my studies, because I'm always studying human design, it's so deep, this system. I don't think I'll ever get to the bottom of human design. It's one of those, it's a deep, deep well. That if you've got no, I don't include that in my recorded readings today. No. There's a thing called color in human design. It's your motivation. It goes deeper into the chart. That the reflectors actually really, it's important for them to know their motivation. So it can be one of 12. Okay. I'll probably do that in my next, not this retreat, but the next retreat. Include that for people. Okay, so let's go for reflectors. What they need to know for the month of July. Okay. what do the reflectors need to know for the block and the guidance? The block and the guidance for the reflectors. Well, there's one. And the guidance for the reflectors, that's way too many. Okay. Okay. Okay, 3 for the reflectors. 3 for the reflectors. Okay. And, excuse me, the Ten of Swords. Stabbed in the back. And then you've got the Page of Pentacles. And then the Judgment right there, the Judgment. Okay. So an ending for the reflectors. And I always like to look at the reflector as kind of the wrap up, the epilogue of this whole reading, in that it applies to each type too. It applies to all of us. Because they're reflecting, right? They're reflecting back to us. So this is painful endings, right? That's definitely a theme on the planet. Painful endings. The ending of an old world that we're never going to go back to the way it was before, especially pre-2020. So this is betrayal. It's a crisis, right? Yeah. What's coming to a close in your life? What chapter is ending in your life? And what can you learn? Remember, it's about learning from the painful ending. Yeah. So again, it's taking your time. You don't want to spiritual leapfrog over, right? Into like where it's sunny and all happy and rainbows and stuff. You've got to deal with this, the painful ending. So that means taking time to lick your wounds, taking time to feel, right? Taking time to be honest with yourself about this painful ending. But the beauty of the Ten of Swords is it means it's over, right? It's over. It's an ending. It's an ending. So there's grief, right, to be felt. Yeah. And it's a message too with the because it's obvious he didn't stab himself, right? That obvious that other people did this to him. Maybe learn that you've got to set boundaries with people as a reflector, right? You got to set boundaries. That people don't walk all over you. So maybe you're ending some kind of relationship, like a relationship, some kind of experience. And know that the worst is over, right? With the Ten of Swords. And then you've got an opportunity. So you deal with this. This is how life works. As a door closes, and then another one opens. A chapter ends and another chapter begins, right? And so this is your soul purpose. That's Judgment. That's the Judgment card, is your soul purpose. This is a rebirth. So you're being reborn. So whatever was taken away from you, chalk it up to a learning experience and then say goodbye to it, right? Say goodbye to it. And this is what's calling you right now is the question. What's calling you? Letting go of the burdens of the past. Forgiveness, right? That's the deep letting go of that Ten of Swords is forgiveness. And then what new awakening or epiphany have you had, right? So maybe it's with a group because reflectors are about to come in. Like we're all finding our place right now, right? All the human design types on the planet are finding their place, and reflectors need to be with a group of people that get them, right? And then you've got the Page, right? The Page of Pentacles. So this is good news. Right, good news is coming for July, and it's involves finances. So this group that you're be invited to possibly is comes with some money. Comes with money, right? That it works for you on the material realm too. And then the Page of Pentacles is also the student, right? So you may be not just a financial opportunity, but a learning experience too. And it's ruled by Taurus, so it's very earthy, right? Earthy, but it's connected to your soul purpose. And this, again, Major Arcana is like energies beyond your control that are, they're fated, basically. It's fated for you. Okay? And this is a total rebirth. Total rebirth. Is there anything else we want to look at here? Okay. Just because it's ruled by Pluto. The Judgment card, 20, is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto's in the 60. And Pluto takes. It takes away, but it also gives, right? But this is like huge transformation. So it's not just like Pluto's not just going to wipe everything away. There'll be something that's grown from that decay. Something's decaying in your life with the Ten of Swords, but something's going to rise up again, and it's connected to your soul purpose. So something in that experience will be left. And that's the truth, right? That's the only thing that's real is the truth. Yeah. Okay, is there anything else for the reflectors? Yeah, try to find out what your motivation is, reflectors, because you can count on that. You can count on that just as much as the sun. That's what Ross, or the moon, sorry. That's what Ross said. So following the moon. And especially today, it's the new moon. So this is the day to like make a change, make a choice, right? Make a choice. Because even though the nodes don't change until July 19th, these tarot cards stay the same. They'll stay the same. We're still in this energy. Okay. Okay. So that's what I have for everybody. And remember, there's still time to jump in for the retreat. It's going to start in 2 hours, opening circle. So I got to get ready. It should be fun. Fun and interesting. Okay. Okay, so take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, Satnam Aloha, everybody. Bye-bye.